I came across this video of a very dark man that is so worrisome. I had him yabbing Peter Obi over buying of granite on the street. And then he was like, oh, Peter Obi cannot win these things. Ordinarily, when you hear these young, inexperienced boys talk about leadership, it is natural to ignore them. But the truth is that Gen Zs no longer read. In order to guide them into thinking rightly, I'm going to play this video and I will answer VDM. I want to teach him leadership and all his followers shortly.
You dey go buy groundnuts, dey price groundnuts. You are pricing groundnuts, Peter Obi, for market woman. Please, what message are you trying to pass? What message are you people trying to pass?
Did you hear him? He said, what message are you trying to pass, Mr. Peter Obi, by pricing granite on the street? You know your problem, VDM? You think when you see Peter Obi do such things, he's doing it for the optics. You think he's campaigning the old school style of campaigning, eating corn in the street with ordinary people. You say, what message is he passing across? I will tell you, the message is passing across. Peter Obi was not sending any message, Mr. VDM. He was only living his life, the life of humility. That had always been the life of Peter Obi. When you see him serve food in the party, he's not trying to do so that you vote for him. That is the only life he knows how to live. You guys don't read because you feel education. It's a waste of time. You should have read about humble presidents all over the world. You should have known a thing or two about Jose Mujica of Uruguay and the humility. People voted for him not because he spent money. They voted for him because he was a man of humility who lived in a farmhouse. Those qualities of leadership are not dead. Of course, you only talk from what you know. You were born into a society where people worship money. A society where people spend stolen money anyhow. And you expect Peter Obi to be spending money. Say he has to spend money. Of course, Peter Obi will spend money to buy his form. Peter Obi will spend money for campaign. He spends money. But you want him to compete with Tinubu in terms of how we spend money? Let me ask you a question, video. Were you here in 2023? What happened in that election? If you are sincere to yourself. Some of us believe that Peter Obi won that election. And he never set up city boys. He did not buy votes. It is called organic followership, VDM, in case you don't know. Go and pick one old government textbook and read about the qualities of a good president. Secondary school government textbook. And go and read about the qualities of a good president. Peter Obi cannot win. It's Atiku Kwankwaso who can win. If it was Tinubu would have bought everything that woman has and make the woman feel that is how they be spending money when they come to power. That is fake life. You say you are a realist? No, you are ignorant. The real realist is Peter Obi. So he made that woman to know that he is just an ordinary Nigerian. Pricing groundnut just like any other Nigerian. He wasn't doing that for the optics. Now let me tell you the story of my encounter with Peter Obi. For you to know that is the life he lives. In 2010, I met Peter Obi one-on-one at a hotel. He was still the governor, a serving governor of Anambra State. It was during the St. Ford party of Tony Elumelu as the managing director and chief executive officer of UBA. It was a great night for me to remember because I met three great men that I respect so much. That same night, I met Obasanjo and I hugged him. That same night, I met Wyclef Jean. I met Wyclef Jean. He was no longer with his dreadlocks. I spoke with him. We spoke politics. Three great men I met that night. Peter Obi, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. I hugged Obasanjo. We hugged each other. It took the security to separate us. It was as if I've known Baba before. But the truth is that I've always loved the man. There was that chemistry between us when I hugged him. Whoever was in that occasion in 2010 will tell you. I met Peter Obi that night. I walked to Peter Obi. I gave him a handshake. And I told him, Mr. Peter Obi, we'll be hearing about you. You are doing very well in Anambra State, sir. Keep it up. How many governors can I, as an ordinary person, walk to in a party in Nigeria today? I will give him a handshake. No security was following him. I went to the toilet and I was coming out. It's like he was going to the toilet or coming out, I can't remember. And I met him. He just said thank you. That is humility. Whether Peter Obi is in office or is out of office, that is his life, not doing it for campaign. So when you see Peter Obi walking on the street, carrying his bags, going to the airport by himself, you see him serving food at a wedding party or birthday party, you see him pricing food in the market, he's not trying to impress anybody. He's just a born leader. He grew up that way. It's that spirit of humility. I do it too. In my compound, if I see maybe where a tenant spread his clothes as I'm passing by, wind blows and my neighbor's clothes down. You know what I will do? I will pick it from the ground. If there is a clip there, I will clip it back on the road, irrespective whether anybody is watching me at all. It's a character of humility that you build over the years. Once it is part of you, you cannot change. That is what Peter Obi is. Because some people pretend, they try to impress during election by eating corn with people on the street, doesn't mean everybody is a pretender. Any man who fails to see the leadership in Peter Obi is not intelligent. You have not learned the assessment orientation for understanding people. That's the truth. It's the psychology of leadership. You need to see the silent things I do when nobody is watching me. If I go to a public toilet like in a bank and I see the floor messed without anybody looking at me, I will clean it up. If I was campaigning and you see me like that, what will you say? I'm doing it for the optics. I want to deceive people. It is a life of humility, a life of leadership quality, a life of service to humanity. Peter Obi had bought all the groundnuts off just to show the woman that when he becomes president, that is how he will be buying all groundnuts. How many groundnut sellers will you buy their market off like that? You are suggesting a life of pretense. That is the real pretense. Peter Obi in his humility passed a message that he is just a Nigerian. Peter Obi does not mean he's different from Nigeria. So he will go to the market and price goods just like an ordinary man. That is the message. That is the life he lives. A life of humility. He's not pretending. He's not trying to impress anybody. He has grown up to understand leadership, just like I am. There was a man in my village in those days, an illiterate man. He had only one son. When this man is walking, he's a gentleman. If he sees a stone on the road path, he will use his leg to remove the stone. He was always doing that when he's moving. You know, village roads are not tied. It's not now we see interlocking stones everywhere. No. So if he sees a stone on the path, he will move it away. And when you ask him, he said, if I don't move it away, a child may stumble over it and fall. VDM, learn wisdom. I love you when I hear you fight for people. When you fight for the oppressed, when you fight for justice. Why don't you just stick to that? Don't delve into matters you know nothing about. Certain things come with experience. You don't know anything about leadership. You are not used to the kind of leadership that Peter Obi is bringing to this country. He said it's people like Kwankwaso and Atiku who could win it. Peter Obi cannot win it. By the way, have you ever seen Kwankwaso spending money or Atiku using money to buy votes? Yet you feel they will do the opposite of Peter Obi. It shows that Peter Obi is your target. Because there was no basis for you to have mentioned Kwankwaso. Kwankwaso has never been known to buy people with money, to buy the whole market of a market woman. No, neither is Atiku. You just mention them to single out Peter Obi, and it makes you so cheap and disgusting. So stick to fighting for the oppressed. I love that about you. Okay? You have courage, you are brave, but you lack experience. Don't delve into matters you know nothing about. You have never been a leader. Have you ever been elected? And ask us, right from our student union, most great leaders, most activists, they started in secondary school. Those are the real leaders. Okay? You stumbled into this influence. You should learn from us. Peter Obi is not pretending. He's only living his life. Stealing granite, buying granite. What's that? He eats granite and he bought granite. So because he wants to become president, he should no longer buy granite on the street. Whereas you will be here, you watch video of a president in Netherlands walking freely on the street. Is that pretense? It is the life of humility. You were born in the early 90s, right? In the era of the military. You grew up in this system where politicians behave like dictators, where people use money to score cheap gold. So I'm not surprised. That's what you have in your mentality as how to become president. You don't have to be rich to become president. Donald Trump is rich. But it's not Donald Trump's money that made him the president of America. Others before him were not rich. Was Obama rich? Was Clinton rich? Was Bush rich? Joe Biden wasn't rich. You see, they campaign with party funds. They are not even allowed to spend money anyhow. You don't have to be rich to win elections. You don't expect Peter Obi to compete with Tinubu. Do you know who Tinubu is? Do you really know? Do you know how he made his money? When Tinubu was leaving office as a governor, he gave himself mouth-watering pension. He was the first person to do it. Mouth-watering, janjato pension. Peter Obi was the only governor who never did that. And you expect him to be spending money like Tinubu? He has to spend money. No! Whatever Peter Obi did in 2023 to nearly become the president, that is what he should continue to do. He is the greatest and the best politician so far. He got to where he is through organic followership. That's why Peter Obi is the number one. He's the best politician. No strategy by criminality. You're going to learn when you listen to me, okay? Who will follow me? No feel misroad. VDM, follow me. Then you will know when leaders are pretending. You know the difference between a pretending leader and a leader that is living his life. Peter Obi is not pretending. He did not buy granite for the optics. He's not campaigning. He was simply living the life he's used to. The life of humility. Go and read about Jose Mujica of Uruguay. Look at international standards when it comes to leadership. We have no leaders to look up to in Nigeria. There are no idols. There's no politician. Today is an idol. The two great men in this country, Peter Obi. If you want to think of another man, Atiku. Yes, Atiku.